Once again, Ember could feel eyes watching. Ember uncovered a journal entry. Dusk brings the longest shadows. The lanthorn comforts me. Soft melodies from home. The wild things listen. Yellow eyes in greying trees. Ember approached the forlorn, but felt it was different. They said, I know what I need to do. I don't want to be. Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved. The crossroads gate was locked. Do you know where we are? I've been walking forever, lost in the marsh. The two travelers were talking. Yeah, I got so lost in the marsh, you know? Why go anywhere else? Yeah. The birds scare me, though. The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come. The guard was protecting a path down between the rocks. Nothing down there but sadness and turning forlorn. Go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight. The Forest King. You'll see there's no need. He'll make a bird of you. Go get your feathers. The guard joked, and with a bag looking old, both guards started looking at Ember with a deathly. The guard leered. Yes, come a little closer. Let us see what's in the. We guard the door to the forest. Oh yes, we decide who gets to see the king. The Forest King will want. Yes, come this way. A feeling of foreboding overcame Ember. Ember was terrified but tried not to show it. The giant bird spoke softly. Another little. Do not fear. The bird is a friend. Ember wanted to feel safe. Oh, little Ember. Birds won't hurt you. Birds will take another under our wing. Stay safe in the nest, you'll never turn forlorn. Ember was still afraid. Is it the night that scares you, little one? See? Birds will make the world less frightening. It wasn't only the night that frightened Ember. The bird was disappointed. Stay? Hope is false. Hope hurts. The Forest King spoke so gently to Ember. Perhaps they could rest here for a while. It was hard to know what else to say. Clever little Ember. You will stay. You will not turn forlorn. Search for hope no more. Now take this feather. Feather means Ember is one of us now. Birds keep little ones safe. Birds should never leave the nest. The guards seem pleased. I can hold that bag for you. Leave them alone. They're one of us now. Yeah, one of us. And we all shares bags and things. The stranger wanted Ember's attention, being careful not to speak too loudly. You should get away from here while you still can. You can't trust the birds. I've heard there's another campfire in the marsh. Well, that's where I'm going if I can find a way down. The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come any closer. Nothing down there. Go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight. Got your first feather, Ice. Stand watch here. Promise you won't let anyone pass. Ember didn't like deceiving the birds. But what choice did they have? They couldn't rest in that place forever. They had to keep going. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. There were memories here, bound in rock. I hear their voices echo in the ancient stone. I find footprints by the cinders, a makeshift camp. Ember hurried away from the birds. The mist hung close to Ember, hiding them. The Forest King seemed frightened, the birds cruel. Ember would rather risk turning forlorn than become like them. Ahead there would be others to help, and maybe a way to move on. The travelers seemed distressed. I'm sure it's fine. They'll be okay, but it's been a while since. It's my fault. Ember found a scrap of journal. I heard them coming. The snap of a twig, a flutter of birds. A figure dashing through the undergrowth. Another like me? traveler whispered quietly. No matter where I go, I always end up here. No matter where I go, always here. It looked like a map, but pieces were missing. The piece formed a new route. It was the same place as before, but how? An eerie scene, like a moment frozen in time. Hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. Another face at last. A catcher of fish resting by a pond. We work together, silk and tar and aching fingers. My boat floats once more, though I almost wish to stay. Inside was a secret diary entry. Pink, orange, red, brown, leaves gently dancing to the ground. Crunch, crackle, lovely sound, fall into a giant mound. A section of bridge had somehow been ripped from its foundations. The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around. traveler seemed distressed. But it's been a while since. It's my fault. The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around. Gradually, more of the map was revealed. The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around. It was like the map had been broken on purpose. The mist revealed a secret place. Was it hidden on purpose? The stranger spoke. I said some things I shouldn't have, and now I'm lost. And it's too late. The skeleton looked peaceful. Held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The skeleton looked held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The statue spoke. Just as it once moved the hearts of the forlorn, the instrument you now hold has the power to move the world around you, another before you, to great effort to hide it deep within this riddle. The lanthorn began to glow. A lost message was inside. The mist is thick. One way blurs into another. Where do I end? Where does the world begin? I cannot see far enough to tell. Ember found a secret note from the Wanderer. Something beckons. This place is not home. I trace the map in my head, recite the older myths. I have to move on. There was one last place to reach on the map. The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around. The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around. Ember felt a great relief to be out of the mist. Ember didn't mind getting muddy. The slide was such fun. A sleeping pig, trotters in the air. They looked happy. The plant looked like it could take a hand up, and it was in Ember's way. The fruit was giving off a sickly sweet smell. The plant looked like it could take, and it was in Ember's way. The plant looked like, and it was in Ember's way. A sleeping pig. They looked happy. The way through was ruined. Muffled by the fog, Ember was sure they heard a rumble. Could that have been a tremendous snow? Ember chuckled. The dangerous plant was no match for a hungry piggy. A hideous odor filled the air. And suddenly, the reason was obvious. Ember found a lost message. The smell of hot broth and hearty stew wafts across the swamp. By the cook's pot I meet another. They are on their own path, but we promise to meet again. The pig inhaled a giant snort of air. Wait, what's that? Ember shuffled nervous. Other embers fed me treats, but then stopped. You feed me now. As the pig chewed, a light grew in its belly. Fruity, fresh. But what I want is something with more crunch. The pig would eat anything. Ember just needed to find more. It was junk. Maybe the pig would eat some junk. And with each thing it ate, the light grew even brighter. Surprising. A little spot, but what I want is something with more crunch. Perhaps if Ember could satisfy the pig, they might be more helpful. Inside was a scrap of journal. In the orchard, I meet the stranger from the cook's fire. A stranger no longer. Together we fill their satchel. Food and memories for the road ahead. The skull was disgusting. Perhaps the pig would like it. This was the last thing Ember could find to offer. Crunchy, embery, not much meat, bit too bony. But what I want, the pig's stomach made an almighty sound. Ember chuckled with relief at the large creature they had been so afraid of. The pig had vanished, but something moved beneath the surface. In a muddy pond, Ember thought the pig looked a lot less. The pig shouted joyously. "The water feels so good on the skin. Join me, morsel." The pig seemed happy, but Ember wasn't getting too close. Why do I consume whatever people put in front of me? I need some true nourishment, but there's none left here. But so much cooler in this muddy pond, I can finally think. Thank you, morsel. Ember thought about the pig. Fed to bursting by others, but without nourishment. Cheerily, the stranger said, "Remind me of one of them who stood there, mouth open. I like you." Who had the pig been before? Ember wondered. Ember came upon another campfire lost in the wilderness. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." It looked long cold, but ready to be lit. "This is the hollow marsh. Here hope was consumed before it could flourish. You must not lose hope, or you too will turn forlorn." Ember thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind. There are others lost along their journey. Find them and I will guide them. Down steps to your east, travel the path south, watching a pig grow unhappy, a forlorn lost hope. The stranger had come so very far. They felt the air beneath them, the distance ever widening. It was such a long way down. A resolve stirred within the stranger. Just a few more steps. It can't be much further. The Wanderer's Diary. An ancient throne sits empty. No one remains to guide or protect, but we do not mind. My companion shelters with me now. We cannot help those left behind. Ember watched as the helpful piggy cleared the path. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. We stop by the warmth of another campfire. The guardian spirit provokes us, asks what we hope to resolve. I do not understand the question. My companion is silent. The stranger couldn't take on more. The time to grow had passed. They settled into the soft moss and waited. The strangers stretched their limbs. Perhaps it is not too late after all.